Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be an alternate beginning to the video you are about to watch. This is not, I am farther into this project right now than you guys are. I didn't expect the video before to be an hour and 10 minutes long, so I just thought, well, let's go on ahead and make an alternate ending because I really don't like uploading long videos, and you guys, I can imagine, really don't like watching long videos. So here we go. So here's an update. I finally got all my seals and everything for this engine for the 140, so we can go on ahead and get the 140 engine put back together. I ended up ordering new rings. The rings in that engine looked okay. I can imagine they were brand new. The bore was cross-hatched, you know. But the piston had some side-to-side play in it. I really just don't want to risk it, you know. So I'm just going to go on ahead and swap out those rings. That engine didn't seem like it burned oil, though. The oil in it looked great, you know, and I never saw it smoke. So, I mean, it could just be because the rings were, you know, what's the word? New. Maybe just not broken in yet. That's kind of what I'm thinking. However, it does almost look like the piston has gone side to side in the bore, so we're just going to go on ahead and change it. I do want to check the rings, however, just, you know, take them and stick them in the bore just to see how far they expand, if they expand. I also went ahead and, because lately I have been doing a lot of engines, for whatever reason, I got myself a pair of piston ring expanders to help expand them onto the pistons, because let's face it, it's a pain in the ass. And I also got one of these piston ring compressors. Somebody was telling me I ought to go on ahead and just get one, you know, because it makes it easier. Because the way that I'm doing it, I'm scratching up the rings, and it'll cause issues in the future. So I just went ahead and did it. So there we go. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's go on ahead and let's get into this engine. So let's just go on ahead and let's get into this. Let me grab the piston. I stuck the piston in this over here in a cabinet. That way it would be safe from rust. Prevent rust from building up on it. The crankshaft is also over there too. That is a good looking piston. And this is 20 over. Yes, 20 over. So give me a second to learn how to use these. I think we just take it. Can we get it out of here? Hold on. Oh boy. Come on. Okay. How do you use these? I'm sure you can tell I've never used a set of these before. Come on. Come on. I wonder if they're only for taking the rings out or putting the rings in the piston. Probably. Let's just see. Can we get it to, oh, it even has spaces right there for, there it goes. I see how to do it now. Let's see what this ring tells us when we insert it into the bore. Yeah, there's no gap. Yeah, there's minimal gap. That ring is good. The first compression ring is good. As you can see, there's a little bit of a gap, but I would say it's about normal size. The bore has already been honed by somebody who owned it before me. The previous owner of it didn't do anything to the machine. To be honest with you, I don't think they knew what the hell they were doing. when it comes to just about anything. So let's take this, and all of you know who I got this machine off of. I no longer talk to them. We got it. Come on. There we go. Cool. So now I've figured out how to do it. Let's insert ring number 2. I'm going to go on ahead and just say this ring is probably still good. Let me just make sure that they're not upside down. Probably whoever owned it before him is the one that got into this engine and rebuilt it. It's a fairly new rebuild, you know, if it's not as old as I'm thinking it is. Yeah, that ring looks fine too. Yeah, that one looks perfect. I don't see a problem with either compression ring. Both of them are fine. Maybe we'll keep them around. Let's take this oil ring and let's find out. Please tell me that the... Oh, we gotta find the gaps. Yeah. Is the gap in our piston ring or in our exhaust ring? I don't see it. I'm sure it's probably quite obvious where it is. Just I don't see it anywhere. Is that it? No. That might be. I will say that oil ring looks, it's in there fairly tight. I will just go on ahead and put that out there. Oh, it catches, yeah. I don't know where the, well, it's got to be around here somewhere, I would think, right? Because right there's the, take these 2 rings out. Let's just see if we can, I can't get on this, can I? These oil rings usually don't tend to survive, these little ones especially, because they're so thin, you know. If I can get the bottom ring, there we go, out first, and I can get it around the piston, like so, and maybe we can get it out without breaking it. Come on. There we go. There we go. And if we can get around, yes, did it. I'm trying not to expand that ring. There we go. Let's put, yeah, that looks fairly tight. Do we want to put, can we fit this in here without breaking it? Yeah, that's got a little bit more of a gap to it actually than the 2 compression rings. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, that's got quite a gap to it compared to the compression rings. However, that could be normal. Again, I don't think it is. See the gap right there? Yeah, I think that gap's a little bit excessive. So, okay, why would the oil ring be bad? What would cause that? Let's see if we can get this other, there we go, oil ring out. We checked that one. The 2 compression rings are fine. The oil ring is kind of questionable, you know? Even that one has a fair gap to it. Yeah. This one is probably the problem. This one won't even stay in the cylinder. Okay, yeah, I think I've seen enough. So the oil ring was no good. That's kind of what I figured. Okay. Oh, there's the indent. Yeah, okay. However, the two compression rings are good. So, I don't know, I've been starting to save compression rings. Not. Maybe I will save those ones. What do you see? You don't see anything. How's that? Is that better? That's better. Let's go on ahead and let's get our rings stuck onto this piston. And then once we do that, we'll get the crank put into the engine block. And then once we get the crank put into the engine block, we can go from there. The way to install rings is this one is your bottom compression ring. Don't want to drop that. The way to tell is if you look at it on the inside, there is actually, wait a second. Oh, never mind. This is your top one. This is your top compression, second compression ring. I did say second compression ring before. Okay. The way to tell is the indent that is inside of here. That's one way to tell. There's an indent inside this, and the indent points up. This compression ring goes in this top groove right here, for those of you who did not know that. And then the scraper ring, also known as the first compression ring, goes underneath of this one in the next groove, and I will show you that. I should have grabbed another set of rings. Come on, come on. Don't break, please. Don't go flying either. There we go. Okay, come on. We'll find out what fell in a second. You know, I should, before we do that, let's just check and make sure that this ring fits. I really want to find out now. Yep, it fits. And we have a little gap, which is good. So these rings fit. They are, if we can get it out, just right. Awesome. So let's go on ahead and let's get this ring put in. And then we'll go on ahead and get the bottom ring, the bottom compression ring. Is there a tip dowel to this? Probably not. I don't want to expand it too far. You know, I don't want to, damn it. I really don't want to break the ring. Bear with me. I don't know how to use one of these, it appears. Come on. Go. Come on. Is it obvious I've never used compression or ring gapper before? I'm sure it is. Let's try again. There we go. There we go. Come on. No. Yes. Yes. There we go. We got it. Okay. Can we get it into its gap? Maybe? No? Yes? What was it for next? Oh boy. Well, I think it's easier to do it without the tool, honestly. I really don't want to do that. Can we get it to, there we go. The expander, however, was nice. There we I don't think this ring is going to fit in this groove. No. Okay, that's interesting. Interesting. I wonder why. So we might have to reuse those compression rings. Yeah, they're not going to fit. Really? No. Wonderful. Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to reuse the compression rings because I know they're still good and I checked them. The only ring that looked bad was the oil ring. And plus, see, these will fit. I probably should have just ordered a new piston, you know, instead of just getting the rings. That's probably where I messed up. But this piston, for the most part, should be brand new. I also noticed the spacer that goes behind that ring is missing. Does this one need, it didn't come with it. Well, okay. This is my top ring. I will go on ahead and insert it in the top groove, like so. Okay, that one easy. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of doing that, you know, but I mean, I really don't have a choice. This one doesn't have any markings in it. That's interesting. Which one of these is the scraper? Okay, this one done. Huh. I don't know how to tell which is the top and which is the bottom of it. They usually have a dot that tells you where the top is and where the bottom is. This doesn't have it, so I guess I'll just put it in. But yeah, these, I'm glad we didn't break them. You know, we'd have been in trouble if these rings broke. I'm being careful right now. I want to clean it up. Let's put this in. I don't know which way it goes, which is top and which is bottom. However, we're just going to put it in, I guess, you know. Yeah, those fit. And then now we need to do the oil ring, which we are going to use the new oil ring that came with this, for those of you wondering. I think this piece goes, wait a second. Why is this bent? This is twisted. Can we untwist it? Like that? Maybe. Oh, well, it's going to be twisted, I guess. So we'll put this in to our groove. I think there is supposed to be a thing behind the rings I'm not seeing. So maybe this set doesn't need it. You know, you're joking. You are joking. wow, we waited. Wonderful. Well, these don't fit in the groove, it would appear. I guess we're just gonna have to use the old rings. That sucks. Just have to write it down. Those are still good. Well, oh well, I guess we'll just have to use these rings over again, I guess. Not really much I can do about it. So, yeah, more than likely I'm gonna be back in this engine again here, definitely in the near future, because I'm probably gonna end up having to replace these rings. I should just go on ahead and do it now, you know, but oh well. I don't have any other 20 over pistons. So I would go grab one. It had a little bit of a gap, you know. Which ring didn't? You know, I just thought of something. I wonder, we don't need that spacer if these are the same thickness. They look like they are. These might be a little bit thicker. Which one's the older one? This one. What do you say we take these two oil rings and we use them? Do you guys like that idea? Okay. We can use this little spacer over again, I guess. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has a problem with this, but it should work. Hopefully it'll work. Where's the piston ring expander? This one we might just have to put in without the expander. There's a little groove on here that you're supposed to get into, which I'm having a hard time getting the groove. I don't want to bend that up too much. Hopefully those two oil rings will work. I don't want to overbend this. More than likely, I probably will. If I do, yeah, we might just be able to bend it without. I probably should have just waited to put the compression rings in, you know. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying. All right, so see, the right thing to do would be to just order a whole new ring set with a piston and just say, well, hell with it, you know, but oh well. We'll learn. Just trying not to snap this stupid ring. There we go. Got it. Don't even think about it. I just scratched my piston. And I'm sure there's a reason not to run the ring up over the skirt too. Go in. Look at that. Okay, well now it doesn't want to go in. So now this won't expand, or won't go in, won't compress. Oh, there it goes. Okay, never mind. Cool. See, it'll compress. Wonderful. Oh, I see. This is pushed into the thing. Hold on a second, gotta get it fixed. No. I see what happened. The black piece is in on itself. I gotta get it took care of. Something here went together. There we go. There we go. That looks a lot better. Okay, so making sure this will compress in, which it seems to want to, so I mean, I guess we'll be okay. You know what, let's pop these rings back out. Just because I don't really want to, you know, I don't really feel like fighting with them. We're just gonna pop the rings back out of the piston. We'll just have to remember that's how we had them in. There we go. Let's get this guy in here. If I end up breaking this, I'm just going to order another. I'm just going to order a new piston and rings. I mean, I really don't feel like pissing with it any further. They're together. Everything looks fine. It goes in. Cool. This is the top ring, and this is the scraper ring. Okay. Come on, come on. There you go. So now let's take this. Probably what we'll end up doing is bench starting it just to make sure that it starts and runs before I put it in the tractor. Oh, I see what happened. We lost one of our nuts, which it appears to be right there. So that shouldn't be too hard to recover. Let me grab the rod, and after I grab the rod, we can go on ahead and get the piston mounted. Went over there and I grabbed the crank. Let's go on ahead and get it mounted. And let's make sure the engine is in time. And after we make sure the engine is in time, we can get the piston put in. And once the piston's put in, well, I don't know. Take them off to the side. Them two compression rings are both good, so we'll have to make sure to make a note of that. Where is the time mark? Is it over here? It should be right there. There we go. There it is right there. Let's get it timed. Once you've done it so many times, it's not hard to do. Let's get this engine in time. I can't think of anything else to take out or put in, you know, before we get it in time, so I think we've pretty much got it to the point we can, what the fuck? I don't recommend doing this, taking flashlights and attaching them to your, magnetizing them to your engine bore. However, you should be okay if you do it. Come on, damn it. Going. Now before it scores everything up. There we go. There we go. Our marks are in line. Cool. So now, we can go ahead and we can get this engine put back together. If the compression rings end up breaking, one, I will not be surprised, and two, we'll probably just go on ahead and replace them. You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if they end up breaking. Let's get, do we want to get the front bearing plate mounted, or do we just want to go on ahead and wait on that? Let's just go on ahead and get the, let's get the piston put in. We're going to try out our ring compressor. Let's see how it does. Oh, idiot, you're opening it from the bottom. Not the top. Let's try the top. There we go. There we go. Ooh, pretty. I got that compressed down quite a bit. It'll do 2 strokes. I didn't expect that. Yeah, they got that compressed down quite a bit. Let's get it to the point. On second thought, let me just wipe it real quick, just to make sure there's no dust or anything, you know, that may have accumulated in it while it was in the factory, which I don't see any. And then I also want to oil up. Let me just get one last look at that block, or that bore. Let me give it a quick wiping. And then I want to just coat it with some oil, you know, before I stick it piston in. Cool. There we go. Let me give it one last final look. And it still has cross thatching in it. I would say we are ready. Let's give it some liquid. you know, oil. Not enough to douse it, you know, just enough to give the piston something it can go into, you know, once it drops into the bore. That should be good enough. Let me oil this up in here. And overall, you know, it'll just make the experience better. Okay, I'm done with the jokes, I promise. Get this cleaned up real fast. I'm not going to oil the piston. It shouldn't need to be oiled since there's oil inside of here. We want this side to face the flywheel. Right. Which side faces the flywheel? This side. Oh, I never gapped the rings. There's something I forgot to do. Thanks for reminding me. How do you get it to... Thanks for reminding me, guys. Oh, actually, that one goes like that. I want that one like that, and I want this one right there is fine. Cool. Okay, so now that our rings are gapped, they actually weren't too bad when I checked them. They looked fairly good. Rings are compressed. The flywheel wants to face this way. Or the piston says flywheel in it. It wants to face this way. Let's take, where is, it's just something, you know, to tap it in with. That's what I'm looking for. Not what it's meant for, but this should work. There we go. We are in the bore. Awesome. Make sure there's no play. Does not appear to be. Yeah, nice to say that worked. So now let's get the piston onto, oh, it is. It is on the cam, or the crank. Look at that. Yep. No play in it whatsoever. It goes down easy, easy. Let's flip the block over. I also got a front bumper for it. I'm sure you guys can see that's not the one that was on there before, the ugly one. So let's get this engine where I can pick it up. Trying not to scratch my paint. Can we get it in? That's what she said. There we go. Okay, let's see. Can we get it to kick over this way? This is why I don't paint stuff. Because now, I don't want to risk scratching my paint. There we go, I got it. Alright, let's get this lined up. That should be in line now. Right now I'm just trying to get the drive shaft. A couple are mounted. There's a bolt, there's a couple of bolts sticking out on it. I'm trying to get them to, you know, get the thing. But they don't want to. Yeah, that's an unfortunate thing. Here we go. So now taking them out is easier than getting them in. And this is the exact reason why. There we go. That side's lining up, this side's not. Did I get it? No. It's poking through on that side. Can we get it to? I don't know. How come this is not? You know, actually, if the oil pan wasn't on there, it would be a little bit easier. Because you could just drop the block in, then slide it forward, and then after the engine is in, you know, put the pan on. However, unfortunately, you can't do that. Let's see if we can get it. Did we get it? We got the top one. Want to get the bottom one? I feel like that's bent. Is this engine? No. It needs to go forward still a lot. I was going to say, can we get up under here? Come on. All right. Why won't this thing go forward? Is it because of the coupler? Of course, you know, there's no trying to stay out of the way of the camera. If we can get this, you know, one thing I could do is just take that hub off of there. I could do that. Although, there. Unless I bypassed it already, which I don't think I did. No, that's not. That went here, I believe. Yeah, this wiring's a mess. I haven't messed with it yet. I've only done a couple of things in the wiring, and that's really it. Let's see if we can get this thing to kick forward. I can see it poking through. The engine is wedged. How is it wedged? Interesting. I wonder if it's because of that. So why? So the top is poking through, meanwhile the bottom bolt is still not lining up. There it goes, it just let go. Okay, can we get it? Times like this, I wish a set of you joined in. Maybe we can figure out a way to. So the engine is currently in its spot. This is the throttle. That's the throttle. All right. Do I want? No, I'm just gonna zip tie it up. Trying to decide if I want to run it under here. I really don't. I wish that I really don't want to scratch this. I don't think my coat will, but the buttons in it might. Okay. What if we have it straight up like that? Will that help us any? Just move this cord out of the way for the time being. Or this cable, I mean, for the time being. Can I get... Oh, I can't. Actually, no, that's bolted. I can't get it to come up any higher. I wonder how they mount these in the factory. There we go. Can we get it to slide forward and go down? Yes. Well, I got good news. We're in. Cool. There we go. The engine is now in. Bolt and the hell? It's not in. Why is it sitting on the pan? That's a good question. There we go. Now it's in. Okay. I was gonna say, why is it sitting on the pan? That's interesting. Oh, okay, we got it. Cool. So this is our throttle. Which I need to remember how to run. I think it just came in. Oh, I know how I had it. Well, I had it set a certain way, if I remember right. Yeah. I had to because of the way that throttle was. Oh well, we'll get it dealt with. So there we go. Let me grab the nuts for mounting the drive shaft up. And we'll get the drive shaft mounted. And once the drive shaft's mounted and secure, we can go on ahead and get the bolts in for the engine. Tell you guys what, you've seen me do this before where I mount engines into tractors. I'm just gonna do it off camera and I'll bring you guys back when I'm done. Sound good? Okay. So I was sitting here working on this 140. It more or less just kind of sunk in just now. Some quick important things to note. I've got the tractor mounted and also the clutch brake works now, which is good. It happened earlier today, but it never really sank in until just now. This YouTube channel, I started doing these videos about 5 years ago. And I think today, I'm not sure I think it was this afternoon, I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I thought that was kind of neat. I didn't really think much of it at the time of seeing it. I just thought, oh, cool. And then I'm out here working on this, and I was talking to some other people on YouTube, some of the other content creators that are involved in these garden tractors that I talk to. And now it's starting to sink in that I hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So I wanted to take a second and thank you guys for that. I really appreciate you guys' support for my little pathetic YouTube channel out there. So I really wanted to thank you guys for that. I really do appreciate it. Your support doesn't go unnoticed. Something I never thought would happen is 1,000 subscribers. I'm still kind of surprised about it. It has taken, I found out about 2 hours ago, and it's just now sinking in. So I want to take a second and thank you guys. Let me finish getting this tractor put together. And once I'm done doing that, I will bring you back. All right, guys, got the engine put back together. I got new oil put into it. The stuff's sitting over there, you guys can see. I mounted the plug to it. All the wiring's done. It did run before we pulled it apart, so there's no reason it shouldn't have spark, and there's no reason it shouldn't run. So let's just see if we have spark. No spark. We're back to that method. It has spark when I turn on and off the key. So that means points. So I need to adjust the points real quick. And then once I do that, we should have spark. I got them points adjusted. Let's try again. Ready? All right, now we have spark. There's no reason this engine shouldn't run now. Let's get the little two-stroke bottle. We'll dump a little bit of two-stroke down into it, into the bore. And once we do that, I don't think I put gas in the tank, so I gotta do that. I'm thinking of things I missed. Let me put gas in that tank real fast and then we'll get back into it. Got gas in the tank. I don't see any leaks. Let's put some fuel in our cylinder. To wipe that off or cover, because I really don't want that to ruin my paint. Y'all ready to see if this thing will start or not? I'm going to engage the clutch on here, that way the transmission doesn't spin, because we really don't need it to spin, you know. That, and we want to just see how the engine runs. First time starting, put back together. Well, it's got the same compression rings, just different oil ring. Ready? There it goes. My choke is stuck. Damn it. Yeah, choke's stuck open. There we go. Closed. Ready? That's one thing I hate about having everything up on the seat, is when you start them, everything shakes everywhere. Yeah. See, this is the issue with this, is it's just got everything going over top of that butterfly, which on these 140s you really don't have a choice. That butterfly might need to be adjusted. Let's see if it'll start. Currently don't have a battery tray in it, so we're not going to do any driving. However, let's see if it'll throttle up, and if it throttles, if it tries to run away. Ready? that adjusted, then we'll try again. Let's take it back in the building for now. You know, another thing I wondered is, I wonder if the spring down here is just putting too much tension on the rod, causing it not to be able to govern right. I doubt it, you know, but that could be it. Let's keep that back. Let's get this adjusted. Yeah, we had adjusted this before it was in the machine, or before the engine was put in here and had a constant hold on the governor. You know, that was difficult. So hopefully now our problem is resolved. Any other things we want to look at while we're under here? I don't see any oil leaking down the block. It looks fairly clean still, which is good. I think one thing I might end up doing is, well, actually, I want to adjust where the spring is, because I don't think I have it in the correct one. That, and the one that is right up above the hole I had it in is pretty well wore. So that's probably where it was before. So we'll just stick it in there, and then we'll put it in this hole here. That one is probably the most wore. There we go. I also want to do a carb adjustment. Well, nah, let's see if the throttle's up first. Ready? Damn it. No, my choke linkage didn't break. It came out of the lever. Oh well. Alright, why won't you start? Is there just not enough gas, or? Okay. Interesting. Oh well. Alright, well, we got it running, I guess, and I think we did figure out the governor issue, because before, you know, you don't want to throttle it up like that. Even just the littlest bit, it would have run away. So I do think we have a working governor at this point. However, you know, we just don't know if it's fully working or not, which I can imagine it probably is. I don't see any oil leaks under that engine, which is good. We probably shouldn't have throttled it up all the way right out of that gate, you know, but oh wow. I can't really tell how much. Yeah, there should be enough in there for it to take off. Ready? Maybe we may have lost spark. I don't know, this key switch is junk, so it almost wouldn't surprise me if we did. Ready? I was watching it, and I noticed it was running kind of funny. I was watching it to see if the spring was having fits. Turned out, apparently this nut came loose. Wonder why that happened. I wonder if that's why it's jumping back and forth. So that makes me ask the question, are the threads on it stripped? Maybe not. Okay, maybe that was the reason. I'm also looking at that. That might be the whole reason too for our issue. That cable was kind of bent. Let's try it again. Ready? Okay. Well, let's see, what could it be? I wonder if it is that governor. Oh boy, we took this thing apart for no reason. Wonderful. Well, we gave it a shot. I think it has, I'm not sure what it has to do with anymore. I have a feeling it's the way that I have this cable routed. That has to be what it is too. You know, it's pulling down on it and to the side. Yeah, it's pulling down on it instead of pulling back like it's supposed to. I bet you that has to have something to do with it. So maybe I'll have to rerun that cable. And once I rerun that throttle cable, maybe that'll fix our problem. So the tractor currently has no spark. I believe the coil has went bad or something else has went bad. The engine sat for a number of years, and that appears to be the original coil, so I'm not really surprised. But after messing with it and coming to a conclusion earlier, the governor did fight. As you guys could see, it did try to fight back when it was jumping. That was the governor. That wasn't the cable doing that. So I have a suspicion that the governor works, especially since when I tried throttling it up at lower RPM, it seems like once it starts to pull on the thing down there, that's when it starts having issues. And I can show you why. When I put the cable on here, the cable on this tractor is bent. You know, there's really no way around that unless I swap out that cable. Coming down here, you can see the way that the cable is run. I believe that to be the cause of our issues. Now, this spring should have absolutely no problem, you know, pulling the plate or pulling on this, and the governor should have no problem fighting against that spring. However, it doesn't appear to be. This appears to be pulling it back too far. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I can adjust this screw up here, and I probably will adjust that screw. I'll probably try to mess with it as much as I can, you know, to get it to work. So that's kind of where I'm at for right now. Yes, I do know my stator leads are unhooked. I unhooked them for right now. So that is currently where I am at. I probably could just go on ahead and end the video here since we know it runs. I need to get a coil for it and a couple other things. Maybe I'll continue this one on, maybe I won't. But I think we've got the problem pretty much figured out. Now all we need to do is just get the linkage and everything set. So all right, guys, I want to thank all you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If this is your first time checking out my channel, please consider going down below, hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you guys a thing. It tells YouTube that you guys like my videos and that you guys want to see more. It tells me the same thing. Recently hit 1,000 subscribers. I want to thank all you guys for that. I have put a lot of thought into this. I wanted to do this for the past couple years. I have been thinking about doing live streams. If anybody out there has any interest at all in seeing me do a live stream, whether it's behind the scenes or, you know, working on something on live stream, I probably won't upload the live streams to the channel once they're done. You know, depending on what it is, I might or I might not. Again, I'm not exactly sure what I plan to do. If I would like to do live streams though, so if anybody out there has any interest, please let me know. With that being said, I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye. So here's what we're gonna do. I tried it. The coil is still good. Just I guess the key switch has gone bad, which doesn't surprise me. It was already bad to begin with. So what we're going to do is I have rigged up a wire going to the coil that I can run to the battery. And when I do this, it has spark. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's get the engine started. And what's behind me now? And let's see if we can pull on this, if it governs. Ready? Okay, well, okay, well, I think I see. Shit. Wonderful. So we may end up just having to take that back out and just put a different one in it, I guess. I'm not sure. This might entail some further messing with it. It feels like there's something there. You know, it definitely feels like there's something pushing on here, you know, to keep it from going wide open. We probably should have just went ahead and changed that governor, shouldn't we have? Although it moves, you know. We should have changed this shaft out right here too. Yeah. I wish that we could get to that without having to take the whole engine apart. That spring could even just be too strong for it. I didn't think of that. I don't know. It almost does feel like there is something there, though, fighting, you know. Damn it. This is stuck. I'll get it. There we go. It moves like it should. It did before too. Let's pop that out real fast. Where's that wrench? Is that the wrench? Yes. let's just go on ahead and pop the little brass fitting off. Let me bring you guys down and we'll just take a look in there and see if we can see something. I seriously doubt those weights would have gotten stuck, especially, you know, they moved fairly well, you know, once we got that unstuck. I wouldn't think that that would be the issue. I mean, it could even be. It could even be this was not in the position it needed to be, which now it is. I'd hate to find out that governor fell out of place. So that should be tight. That moves. I do have a suspicion on this though. I do think that has something to, it has to have something to do. That is a fairly stiff spring. Yeah, it could be the spring. It is a fairly tough spring to pull. I think a governor spring is supposed to be a little bit more. This one's stiff too. I tried a different governor spring and it's fairly stiff too. Maybe they are supposed to be stiffer than I thought. All right, well, I guess we've got something to think about, don't we? Actually, before we, what hole does it look like has the most wear? This one. And this one over here has the most wear. There we go. Cool. So now we put that on like so. I wonder now if that's gonna, I do think it definitely, it's got to have something to do with the cable. How would it have something to do with the cable if we just moved it by this, you know? Whatever. So, governor, maybe the governor shaft inside, you know? Maybe we'll end up having to take this thing back apart and find out. You're supposed, which way are you supposed to do the governor? You're supposed to that way, right? Or is it that way? It's that way, right? I can't remember. I think you turn it to the wide open point. I think. I'm not certain. I guess it's been a little while since I've done a governor. Yeah, I think you turn it to the wide, turn it back towards the thing when it's wide open. So when you're adjusting that governor, so there you go. And if that's not it, then we'll try doing the other way and see what it does. Does this move? still. That's wide open, or it should be where it needs to be. Let's just go on ahead and, as long as we don't move that arm, we should be fine. However, that was loose earlier, you know, we found out, so that could have easily had something to do with it, you know. Maybe this arm came out, maybe the shaft came out of place. I guess you never know. Well, let's see if it'll start. And if it'll start, if this time it will govern right. Ready? Let's see what happens. Oh, oops. I don't want to start at full throttle. So just doing this, yeah, I definitely noticed it. It definitely was fighting me doing that. So that means we do have a governor. It is working. And when I pulled, you see how easy that is to go right now? Where before, it definitely was noticeable. It had some, you know, it had some fight to it. So I do think we have a governor. It's just not, I don't know. I think it's this. So, because when you, we're going to do something we shouldn't. Let's just completely unhook this. And let's just see what it does. Here's how we're going to find out if our governor works or not. Ready? If it doesn't stay like that, that means our governor's no good. See how it's jumping back when I let go of this arm, how it's going back? It's not throttling down all the way. I think it's because this adjustment over here might be off a little bit. However, it is pushing it back. It doesn't seem like it's pushing it very hard. However, it is pushing it. Although, why would the governor not be pushing it hard? It couldn't be wore out. Couldn't be. I don't know, maybe we just have a weak governor. Don't know. All right, guys, I think we fixed the problem with this one. We just gotta, you know, like I said, we just gotta get that linkage took care of. Well, at least the governor works, you know, that's definitely a plus. All right, guys, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. Take care, guys. Bye. So here's an update on the 71-140. This is the 70th 140 we were working on. It's been about roughly a month since I filmed that video on this tractor. Actually, it may not have even been a month yet. Got back into this 140. I ended up taking that engine back apart because the governor just did not work. I took it apart and I looked at it. I did all this off camera. I looked at the governor a little bit closer. This isn't it. There it is. And I must not have caught this when I put it back together, but this is my suspicion as to why the governor was not working right. And I also noticed as soon as I pulled that cam out, that governor pretty much was just wanting to fall out. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't being held in there right. And as you can see, this moves. I also swapped this arm out. I took the one out of this engine right here and I stuck it in that one over there. You know, I took the governor out of that one as well as the arm that runs the governor. So that's all fixed and took care of. I took it outside and did a little bit of mowing with it yesterday, just kind of testing it out and seeing how it does. And so far, this 140 does pretty good. I really like it. I've had the thought a couple of times of selling it, but I don't know. I really don't want to sell this one. So currently all it needs is we need to get the charging system figured out. And once the charging system is figured out, it should be all set and ready to run. So there you go. I think this is going to be it for the video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I apologize for not pulling it back apart on camera, but this video was getting kind of long. And I just really wasn't in the mood to take it apart, on camera. So I just went ahead and did it and got it all done and took care of. All right, guys. Well, I will catch all of you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.